Hello, y'all. Today is Tuesday, although this will be uploaded either Wednesday or Thursday. I'm here to give I know it's a little bit late, but better late than never. I'm not too late, but I wanted to give a little movie review of Get Over Here, honey, Mortal Kombat, bitch, honey. Y'all know old DivaWuan is a huge darn gaming girl, honey. And hell, I think even if you're not a gaming girl, everybody grew up on Mortal Kombat, bitch. Mortal Kombat been around since what, the 80s? Honey, that shit's still going strong. It's almost like Yu-Gi-Oh! Honey, I love my Yu-Gi-Oh! I love my Pokemon. Although with Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm trying to learn this new generation. You know, Yu-Gi-Oh been around so long that the old heads like me. I'm still confused with this new generation of Yu-Gi-Oh. There's a whole nother link. There's a summoning called the fast summon or something like that. The quick play cards and stuff. I'm like, huh? I know about a quick play spell card, but I don't know about this fast Yu-Gi-Oh whatever they got going on. I'm starting to. I learned the pendulum summoning. I don't use the pendulum. I'm more of a synchro girl slash a seas summon girl, and I had to get into that because I'm from the old school, from the regular summon where it took some time to even ritual summon a card or something. But now, honey, these darn new duelists, honey, they darn summon half the damn deck on the first turn, honey. But honey, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. If y'all interested in some Yu-Gi-Oh talk, y'all leave it down below. Although I don't think I got too many male subscribers because Yu-Gi-Oh ironically is a dominant male, card game. It's not too many females that actually play Yu-Gi-Oh. And that's even on the T side, honey. I don't see any, not even some of my fellow girls who, oh, my bad, y'all. I just got finished eating an egg sandwich, honey. But anyways, not even my fellow T girls play Yu-Gi-Oh like that. But anyways, on to Mortal Kombat, honey. Mortal Kombat done finally came out with a movie for the first time in what, 25 years? Because I think the last one came out in like 96 and it's now 2021. So it starts off with this samurai. We're in the 1600s. He goes into the forest to get some water, and Bi-Hong done came through. We about to tell you who Bi-Hong is later on. But Bi-Hong done killed the people outside as the girl went back in the house to check on the baby. Because the oldest child was tending to the baby at first, and then the mother came in, and then they both looked towards the tent thing and see blood splatter in the darn tent ripped with the knife or whatever. So she had enough time to put the baby underneath the cupboard or whatnot, and then she trying to run out the door with the eldest child, honey. Honey, darn gone, Bi-Hong done got a hold to them, and then we find out who Bi-Hong is when he darn gonna summon the ice out his hand, honey. So Bi-Hong is none other than soon to be Sub-Zero. So by the time the wife screams and Hongzu comes to the rescue, well, hell, he didn't come to the rescue, but everybody dead when he arrives, and he finds his darn gone the wife and the eldest child frozen in ice. He then goes into samurai mode. He's darn on killing the folks left and right, this, that, and the third. Then he comes across none other than darn going Bi-Hong, honey. So it's a showdown between Hongzu and Bi-Hong. And then, sadly, Hongzu lost. It wasn't too sad for me because I actually am a Sub-Zero fan, but in this case, darn Hongzu was the hero who turned evil because he was so darn engulfed with revenge that, after he was defeated and he tried to go to the baby, he heard the scream, the crying of the baby. He tried to go towards the darn cabin, but ends up dying in the process, and he darn ends up burning up, and I guess he got transported to hell for darn centuries. So then we see what's his name? Reagan. That I think that's his name. The thunder god, he comes out the sky. He gets the daughter. And I didn't peep this the first time. I thought it was a son. I thought the youngest baby was the son or whatnot. And then, because for the longest, when it fast forward, I thought, and I know I'm not the only one who thought this, I thought Reagan darn going, transported the baby into the future, and the baby is now grown up into like the early 1900s, early 2000s, because I don't know when this took place. Because y'all know, even though this is 2021, I don't know the timeline of when this took place, especially with Sonya's trailer and shit. Like, everything looked dated as fuck. Let me see. Well, they did have smaller cell phones, so I at the minimum, it had to be like the early 2000s. At the minimum. But it's somewhere, this shit is taking place sometime in the damn 2000s. But, yeah, y'all, we see darn that was not the case. The baby was actually a daughter, and she held on, time went on, centuries and centuries and centuries later, the Honzun line has passed forth, and this is the great times 20 grandchild of darn Honzun, honey, by way of the maternal bloodline of his darn offspring. So that's where that situation comes from. He darn getting his behind whooped in the darn fighting ring. So I guess he's one of them MMA fighters who's done lost his darn mojo, honey. The daughter's trying to tell him to darn do the uppercut. He didn't do the uppercut, and he done got fucked up as a result. Then in walks who we find out to be darn Jax, honey. Jax darn inquires about the tattoo. The daughter darn let it be known to him that the darn tattoo is not a tattoo. It was a birthmark. And they was wondering, how in the world does a baby get the birthmark? Because everybody else got their darn marks by way of defeating somebody. He's the only one that got the mark from birth. So this is interesting. So fast forward to darn this is a sad thing. I never got his name throughout the whole show. But we're going to say the descendant of Honzu, he was out with his family, and then it's snowing in the middle of July. Then comes none other than Sub-Zero, honey. Sub-Zero comes in. Next thing you know, Jax comes to the rescue. Gets the family in the car. He explains everything. And then, they is taking this in too quickly. To go from not seeing nothing supernatural to automatically seeing snow in the middle of July, a person commanding ice, and then this random black dude comes to the rescue and tells you that you've been selected for a tournament called Mortal Kombat. And then it's like, what in the hell? They took that shit a little bit too in. It wasn't enough shock for me. I don't know if that's a cultural difference with them being Asian or whatnots, Japanese origin, but it's like that they was a little bit too motherfucking calm for that shit, honey. And even later on, they was too calm for me, honey. Y'all know my black ass would have been freaking the hell out. But I digress, honey. They bobbing and weaving all across town, honey. They darn Sub-Zero ends up cornering their ass in the alley. He gives the keys to to the descendant of Honzu, honey. And he thought he was going to end up taking on this creature. Now, I don't give a damn how many tours that you done did. Talking about I done did 6 tours, motherfucker. It's like, honey, you a special. I don't know what type of black you are. I don't give a damn how many freaking tours I done. But see, then again, they did say they have actually fought people with, superhuman abilities across the water. So I don't know, maybe that adds to it. Because he does have the mark. So he did defeat somebody who had power. So I'm going to give him that leeway. But honey, I'd be damn DivaWuan going to take on somebody who can vanish into fog, move at the speed of darn on fog amongst the sky, can summon darn on ice shears out of the damn sky, honey, and can freeze people. Oh hell no. You can have that shit. And then you thought you was going to do something with a damn gun that he managed to freeze, honey. The moment that he darn on froze that damn gun as you tried to shoot it, and he darn on cracked the gun in half, honey, that would have been the moment for me to exit stage left, honey. To the left, honey. I would have been sashaying to the motherfucking left, bitch. But honey, you wanted to be darn on G.I. Joe and end up becoming a double amputee, honey. Darn on Sub-Zero done fuck your arms up. But the one darn on silver lining is with the freezing ability, it somehow cauterized his darn on arteries, so he didn't bleed out. So you managed to darn on become a double amputee, and actually I'm still more impressed how he survived the fall. Because we seen Sub-Zero kick him in the head, right? And darn on, he fell over 30-something feet. So that's miraculous that he survived all that. But I digress. Meanwhile, now fast forward on over to darn on the Descendant of Honzu, right? He ends up darn on going to darn on meet up with darn on Sonya Blade, because before darn on G.I. Joe, aka Jax darn on tried to fight Sub-Zero solo dolo, he informed him about going to darn on meet Sonya, and I want to say Indianapolis. You know, ironic that this is going on in Indianapolis, you know, especially what's going on in real life in Indianapolis, honey. Child, boo. Honey, they need a darn on Jax in real life, honey, for what's going on in Indianapolis right now. But I digress. But anyways, honey, he goes to Indianapolis. Honey darn on quickly gets his ass whooped by Sonya. Sonya then becomes acquainted with the Descendant of Honzu. Matter of fact, let me Google search what his name is. Why I keep saying the Descendant of Honzu, honey. Let's see, Mortal Kombat characters. Shit, they ain't giving, they darn on giving me the darn on regular folks. Cause y'all know this person is a make-believe person. He's not in the traditional darn on story arc. But anyways, we're going to keep saying that the Descendant of darn on Hanzu, aka Scorpion. So she's educating him on the history, right? Meanwhile, old dude, the wizard in hell, honey. The wizard in Outworld. What's his name, y'all? What's his name? Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung done sent in the reptile that can turn invisible. Meanwhile, Sonya done got darn on Kano darn on tied up, honey. As the reptile done came to try to fuck them up. So the reptile darn on fucking them up and darn on this, that, and the third. They got a few hits in, but it don't be seen to do nothing. Kano managed to use the acid from the reptile to get free. And he ends up darn on doing a darn on snatch him, honey. Snatch the heart out the damn reptile, honey. So that's the first fatality of the damn night is from damn Kano, honey. Kano then leads them on to the darn on temple of Raiden. After darn on Sonya darn on bluffed and said that she got $3 million for his ass, which she don't have because she wouldn't have been in that raggedy ass trailer if she had $3 million. But anyways, they darn gonna make it. They didn't end up meeting up with what's his name? Let me pull up his character. Is it Kang Lao? No, Kang Lao is the one with the hat. Liu Kang. Liu Kang. So Liu Kang ends up darn on meeting them. Darn on, of course, Kano talks his shit. Only the darn on get hit by the fireball. And then they actually darn on, he lays them to the temple in the opposite direction. So I don't know what the compass was doing. Because, he had the, Kano had this compass that was supposed to be leading them to the temple. But darn on, after they darn on meet up with Liu Kang, darn on Liu Kang darn on ends up, navigating them that way in the opposite direction. They get to the temple. They end up darn on meeting the cousin to Liu Kang, who is none other than Kung Lao. And you know, the reason why I'm looking at these darn on is to see how I can phonetically pronounce. Y'all know DivaWuan fucks up a name, honey. So we then end up seeing Kung Lao, and then we end up later on seeing Raiden, honey. So Raiden darn on has them prepping for combat, this, that, and the third. And then here comes the folks from Outworld trying to darn on end it before the tournament even begins. So Raiden cuts that short by darn on creating this darn on barrier. Honey, that didn't last long because, Kano. But before we get to that, honey, Kano ends up developing his power at the table. After they darn on start the training and shit, they done whooped his ass numerous times, and then they darn on insulting him at the table. He gets pissed off, and his eye turns red, and then it shoots out, and old boy with the hat, honey, had to darn on deflect the laser beam. But shortly later, the person that he ends up putting in an iron lung, honey, I didn't get his character, but his character is based off of the robots in real life, based off of Scarlet and darn on Cyrax, honey. But, they don't merge both of them together into this darn on black robot character, honey. But I'm familiar with the Scarlet and Cyrax off of darn on Mortal Kombat. But anyways, honey, he ends up informing them that they can get Kano to switch over to 18, which didn't take long. He darn on ends up laser beaming the darn on staff that was protecting them. And then they breaks in, and then comes the first round of fights, honey. So you got darn on Melina versus darn on Sonya Blade. And darn on it's funny how motherfucking Liu Kang wanted to talk shit to Sonya, talking about you welcome to stay here. But technically, you since you don't have the mark or whatnot, you a liability. Honey, the so-called liability darn on lasted longer than your motherfucking Asian ass. See, that's the thing with some of y'all Asian folks, honey. Y'all think y'all motherfucking Jackie Chan and all this, that, and the third as if nobody else can do shit. And it seemed like darn on Sonya lasted a little bit better than what your motherfucking ass did. Cause when old dude had you hemmed up, you wasn't doing too fair. You wasn't doing too good, honey. Sonya Blade held her ass for the longest. Why you talking shit? Okay. And then Sonya Blade was going up against one of the strongest ones as well. Melina seems to be like the strongest. She has the teleportation powers and the darn on fighting abilities. It took two of them in the end to darn on take her out, but we about to get to that in the damn moment. Yeah, y'all know how much of a fan I am of Mortal Kombat. I'm able to darn on recite everything in chronological order without having no notes or anything. I'm not looking at no paper or anything, y'all. Y'all know normally DivaWuan be all over the place. But maybe because I just watched the movie for a third time, y'all. But anyways, that's going down. As darn on Melina defeats darn on Sonya, she had the opportunity to kill Sonya, but darn on she made a mistake of keeping Sonya alive. Talking about since she ain't got the mark of the blood, the mark of a champion, her death would be pointless. And then she teleports out, only for Kano to jump in and darn on whoop her ass, and then laser beam the statue of Raiden and pins darn on Sonya down. Jax darn on ends up darn on getting his ass whooped by Shao Kahn. Then you have who else? I'm trying to think who the hell was darn going the son of darn on Scorpion was fighting. Cause you had the darn on the ultimate person back in the damn cut, honey. Let me see. I don't know. And then there was this flying bitch as well. I'm trying to pull up her name. Is it Nitra? Was that her name on the show? That's what. Let me see. Mortal Kombat characters. Let me type in 2021. But whoever was the flying bitch, she ends up darn gonna getting cut up by Kung Lao, honey. After Kung Lao trying to darn gonna throw the darn going throw his hat towards the head the to the head motherfucker in charge, only for it to miss, honey. Um to Shang Tsung, honey. He ends up going up against, yeah, it was Notorial. I told y'all I fucked up a name. So Natara. Damn, I'm about worse than darn gone. Shout out to Madison Mama, darn gone, Mother Mary, Miss Mary, honey. Yeah, Mary got her Maryisms, Juan got her Juanisms, honey. But anyways, darn on Natalia, darn gonna try to go up against darn on old boy, right? And honey Kong Lao darn going flipped her and darn going had her darn gonna cut up like a slice of meat on the darn gone butcher table, honey. Fatality. Honey, so we got our first official fatality as far as power base is concerned, honey. But honey, towards the end, that didn't last long because as darn gone Raiden trying to teleport them out, honey, Frieza done not darn gone Cole Young. That's his name, honey. I kept saying the descendant of darn gone Haryoku, honey, the Hyon or whatever you call the Scorpion lineage, honey. But yeah, it's actually none other than oh, that's the character's that's the person's real name. I'm now looking at the official thing, y'all. But anyways, the son of Haizung or whatever, the great grandson, his name is Cole Young, played by Louis Tan. That's the first time I've seen an Asian person with a simple last name. Usually they have a Chong, a Wong, a Yong, something like that. But this is the first time I've seen a simple. He must not be Chinese, son. He must be something else, honey. He must be darn going Polynesian, Korean, or whatever, honey. But anyways, yeah, he darn going ends up getting knocked out of the teleportation by none other than Sub-Zero. Darn going Kung Lao tries to come to the rescue, only for him to get zapped up by none other than Shang Tsung, honey. And darn going he gets his soul snatched. Now darn gone Liu Kang finds the strength to darn going take out Cable. That's his name that he was going up against, honey. He managed to darn gonna take out Cable long enough to be able to try to get to darn gone his cousin, only for the cousin to be dead. He's gone, honey. His soul has been snatched. So that's the second fatality that we done seen of the evening, honey. So now they darn gonna go into the void, which is between Earth realm and the realm of the gods. They darn gonna brace themselves for the actual tournament, and darn gonna they devise a plan. They was gonna save Sub-Zero for last, honey. So darn gone Sonya wanted the darn gone she wanted darn gone to take on Melina's ass again. I was like, girl, wrong move, honey. Wrong move, girl. It was a good thing that you waited to take on Melina, bitch, honey. Even darn gone old boy, when he got his abilities, he was darn gone having a hard time with that bitch. You darn gone not having no powers at all. You want to take on, talking about you want to take on the bitch with the teeth. No, honey. You take on the darn gone pissy drunk that's too cocky, that's darn gone the easiest to fuck up. So they darn gone pin her with Kano. And they transport her back to her place where she got that darn on shit set up like Vietnam booby trap, honey. She's popping out of the floor, stabbing him left and right, darn on throwing acetone at his eye to darn on disable the laser beam. Honey, she was fucking darn on Kano up, honey. Fucking him up in the bathroom and everything. Done fell out the trailer and everything. And then, honey, the irony of this, when the first time we seen Kano free out of the handcuffs, he spit on the garden gnome, and Lord knows that was a foreshadowing of his undoing, because the one thing that ended up killing him was that same garden gnome that he spit on earlier. Did y'all not peep that when she went to grab for something to stab his ass with, it was that damn garden gnome that he spit on. Once again, DivaWuan pays attention to everything, bitch. And then she ends up getting the darn gone mark. Just in time to transport the darn gone help darn gone Cole out. Meanwhile, Jax, I missed this part when after, you know, Sonya darn gone got knocked out the first time after her defeat against Melina, and then darn gone old boy darn gone used the laser beam to pin her up against the statue, right? I forgot to mention that darn gone Jax end up, you know, coming into his abilities, and his darn gone puny arms, the robot arms turned into the muscular arms, and that's how he was able to darn gone lift the stone up off of Sonya and save her. Now fast forward, he's going up against darn gone he's going up against old boy again with the damn hammer. It's too many names for me to remember, y'all. Like I said, I did not write the darn on folks' names down, so we just rolling with it, honey. And I don't see his name up on here in this 2021 list. And then the weird thing was, y'all, that I seen his name earlier when I was darn on just looking at the random characters, but he's not in the lineup for this darn on 2021 lineup, y'all. But anyways, old boy with the hammer ends up being defeated by Jax. Kano was killed by Sonya. Goro, because one point in time, darn going, you know, and I think Raiden did this on purpose. Raiden darn going sent darn going Cole outside the temple. He went home for a bit and darn going end up going against darn going Goro, the forearm dude, and end up defeating him, end up coming into his powers, and then gets transported back to the temple. Only to darn gone fight darn gone Melina. I was like, now that shows how bad Melina is. You darn gone managed to defeat this darn gone four-armed darn gone 10-foot tall beast, honey, with all these muscles. But you having a darn gone struggle with this one that is anatomically the same, you know, size and weight of a regular female. Honey, she fucking them up left and right. That darn on superhuman abilities that you came into didn't mean shit to darn on Melina, bitch. It took Sonya Blade flipping back onto the scene and hitting darn on Melina from behind for y'all to take that bitch out. Now, I want to know how would that fight have been if darn on if Sonya was able to take darn on Melina head on. Cause it's like, bitch, you had to catch that motherfucker off guard to kill her. But I digress, honey. So they darn gonna end up killing her. Now the last person is darn gone Sub-Zero, who meanwhile the family, the daughter and the darn gone the daughter and the wife is trying to darn gonna get out of the house before another four-armed creature darn gonna comes. And meanwhile, as she darn gonna left the kitchen, honey, she looked towards that window. And just like a traditional horror movie, there goes the darn gone perpetrator, honey. The door slowly opens. Next thing we know, Sub-Zero done held up something of the that was of his wife, honey. And darn gone went back into the portal. Darn gone Cole done ran into the portal, honey. So now it's him up against Sub-Zero by himself. Now, once again, Jax done made it known earlier, nobody ain't about to take on this motherfucker successfully by himself, honey. Like you done already had enough issues trying to go up against Melina. You took Sonya to take darn on Melina out. And Sub-Zero, I want to say, is stronger than Melina. Now how is this about to fare? So, meanwhile, though, he still got the darn on blade of his darn on great ancestor that Raiden ends up giving to him. Raiden said he can't intervene, but he found the loophole, right? And we about to darn gonna get to the loophole in a moment. So darn gone, he ends up darn gone trying to darn gone free his darn gone daughter and wife. Very reminiscent to the beginning when darn gone Scorpion, aka Hong Zoom, was trying to free his darn gone free his son and darn gone wife, and end up getting killed. So in the midst of that, he ends up getting the blade. And honey, darn gone Sub-Zero turned the blade up on darn gone Cole. the blood, his blood connected with the blood of his darn on ancestor, and I guess that was the darn on freedom portal for him to resurrect out of hell. So as darn on Cole was about to get stabbed, honey, here comes the darn on the music, honey. Don't, honey. We get to get over here, honey. Come on through, honey. We got darn on Scorpion to the rescue, honey. So Scorpion darn on whooping ass left and right, but honey, Sub-Zero ain't giving up, honey. Sub-Zero, it took both of them to darn on get together to end up taking his ass out in the damn end. But I did like that part where he darn on took off that darn on mask and he said, I told you you was going to remember this darn on face, and it's Scorpion now, honey. Just like earlier where Sub-Zero had to inform Shang Tsung that he no longer goes by Be Hong, it's Sub-Zero. Darn on Scorpion took off the mask and said, I go by Scorpion now, and that's when the fight began. So it ended up ending where they darn on both whoop his ass, and darn on Scorpion ends up breathing fire and killing darn on Sub-Zero. Now here comes Shang Tsung, think he's about to be a one-man show. He comes in thinking, it was like, well, bitch, if you could have darn on been Billy Badass all by yourself, why didn't you darn on come out in the damn beginning, Mr. Soul Snatcher? But honey, he ends up darn on being kindly transported back to Outworld by none other than Raiden. And that's the end of that, y'all. So that is my half-hour summary. It ends where, you know, Cole ends up cleaning out his locker. His darn on days of getting whooped for getting his behind kicked for $200 is no longer valid. He's now going to Hollywood. Hollywood. In my Beyonce voice, honey. He's going to the lights. A camera action to Hollywood, honey. And then at the end, we see none other than a advertisement for none other than Johnny Cage. Because I was wondering, I said, well, damn, where is Johnny Cage in this? And now we see that there's about to be a sequel. But they're teasing that there are about to be multiple sequels. There's about to be a sequel with Sonya. There could be a sequel with Johnny Cage, a sequel with Jax, and then a sequel with Scorpion Descendant, Cole Young. So, honey, we finally about to get a new wave of Mortal Kombat movies. And see, now I don't mind this reboot because technically it's not a reboot. Mortal Kombat is actually the storyline, especially if you play the games and shit. Honey, Mortal Kombat got so many darn on developments. It's almost like a darn on alien-like soap opera. Like, there's so many relationships and shit. Like, Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage ends up having a daughter called Cassie Cage and all of that. You got Sindel that supposed to come through. Sindel is supposed to actually be the head leader over darn on Katana and all, not Katana, but Milena and all of them. It's like, where are we about to see these characters? How many other characters do we have? Let me go ahead and pull it up. We got, who else we didn't see? We didn't see Cassie Cage for obvious reasons because, you know, she ain't born yet. We ain't see Sindel. We didn't see Scarlet nor Cyrax. We didn't see Stryker. We didn't see... Oh, Shiva's another bad bitch, honey. Y'all know... Oh, I love to play Shiva on Mortal Kombat, honey. We didn't see DivaWuan. We didn't see Kanshi. Reptile. Well, we did see a reptile creature, but we didn't actually see the actual reptilian itself. We didn't see Onaga. We didn't see darn on Ashara. Honey, it's so many darn on... And maybe we about to see this in the next round because, you know, Raiden said, you know, everybody was, you know, dispersing to gather the new wave of darn on heroes. So is we about to see some of these darn on characters in the next wave, honey? I look so forward to it, honey. So unlike the other ones where, you know, certain shit just did not need to be touched. Like, we don't need to remake. I was here for Friday because there's technically 4 Fridays in a month. So it's like, okay, you can make a sequel to Friday. You can even make a sequel to darn on Rush Hour. Did we really need a Bad Boys 3? Did we really need another Bad Boys? It was like certain other shit just did not need to be remade, honey. I'm not. We did not need to see a remake of Annie. It was just certain shit that just did not need to be remade. But Mortal Kombat is one of those darn old classics, honey. That yeah, you keep that shit rolling, just like the Chucky movies, honey. Just like Freddy Krueger, where it's an endless series that can keep going on. The Michael Myers of the world is meant to be like 20 some different movies a day. Like it's certain classics where you can actually keep extending that shit, and it's just certain stuff that's just meant to stay a single movie or a trilogy. But Mortal Kombat, I can definitely see plenty of different movies coming on. Just like you got all these Marvel and DC darn going movies of Wonder Woman, Superman. We have yet to see damn Storm, honey. They just darn gone content with darn gone keeping the baddest darn gone mutant to ever do it down, honey. We can't get no Storm, but they talking about bringing back Hugh Jackman's ass for Wolverine. I digress. We ain't about to go down that rabbit hole. But anyways, I'm definitely here for Mortal Kombat. Are y'all here for some series of Mortal Kombat movies? I am damn sure here for it. But anyways, I would love to know y'all thoughts. Feel free to leave it down below. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see y'all soon with more videos. Mwah.